The committee working on the winner-takes-all system has presented its report. Now, the chair of the commission, Francis Emil Short, has been given details of the report at a forum here in Accra.
The Council of State is perceived as an ineffective institution because of the mode of appointment to the Council and the mandate and powers prescribed for the Council. Indeed, in our public consultations, some of the statements made by some individuals include the following. Some of them describe the Council of State as a lame-duck institution and as a superfluous institution, as unnecessary, a wasteful charge on public expenditure, too much attached to the President, and not capable of giving independent and meaningful advice. The Council of State, we propose, should be converted into an elected second chamber of Parliament. 2 people may be elected from each region. The mandate of the chamber should include legislative oversight responsibilities. Indeed, the Committee of Experts that led to the 1992 Constitution did make provision for some legislative responsibilities for the Council of State, but for some reason, it did not find its way into the 1992 Constitution.
Well, the committee also recommends the members of the Council of State should be elected by citizens and their office made a second chamber of Parliament. Former Short boss and member of the committee, Justice Emil Short, explains further.
I think there should be a minimum facilitation by the state, as well as putting a cap on political expenditure. So it's a double-ended issue. That's how we are looking at it.
Do you see this as something that we can do in the short term, even before the 2016 elections?
Yes, I think that.
I mean, there are some of these politicians who tell you, without the money, there's no way you can win the election. You need resources to get to the ground.
Yes. I think that, my own estimation, this elections that is coming, the parties, especially the main parties, are going to spend huge amount, not less than about 1 billion. The NDC government, come at the end of the day, will have spent between 3/4 to 1 billion on these elections. That is too much, and that money does not come from them. Most of them are stolen money. We are saying that if they are going to steal the money because they have power, then we should make a way whereby that same money is spent and shared, not by those who have the incumbency and can steal, but that everybody should get a share according to their representation in Parliament or whatever the formula you want to use, so that at least money does not become the main determinant. At this moment, I mean, you go there, of course, presidency, there are certain things you cannot avoid. You go with the national presidential jet and other things, that's okay. But at the end of it, can they tell us that those monies which were being spent were coming from their pocket? I can tell you it came from us.
Oh, that was rather former rector of Game Park, Professor Stephen Adai, who also happens to be a member of the committee there. Moving on now, and former Attorney General and leading member of the opposition New Patriotic Party is blaming the defeat of the NPP in the Talensi by-election on the absence of the National Chairman and General Secretary in the constituency during the polls. Now, most of the NPP national executives, including the flag bearer, were in Talensi during the election, but according to Ni Ayikoi O2, the absence of Paula Foko and Kobne Japan contributed to the NPP's defeat. He spoke to Joy News' Kwacha Fenyama.
If you are going to campaign, one would have expected you to put up a united front. And therefore, in the absence of the chairman and the general secretary, the impression created out there is that you are not united. And that can always affect floating voters. These things have been said over and over again. And because your core supporters will vote for you, you need to appeal to everybody. So you should do things that could attract, floating voters.
Some have said that should Kobne Japan and Paula Foko have, been part of this, there were some in the region on the back of Mr. Adams Mahamad's death who were threatening them and all that. Would have been unwise for them to have even gone there in the first place.
Well, people have said that. I've heard that. I have heard that. I'm saying that we can always do things and create a certain impression. We have charades, we have facades and things, you know. They all have their role to play in politics, you know. So there could be there deep cracks, and yet, you know, like a man and his wife may have a fight, and yet they sit in the car and go to church. And you see them as the best couple.
Meanwhile, the ruling NDC has been blaming the opposition NPP for the chaos that marred the elections.
Akufo-Addo has been here, nobody attacked him. Bawumia has been here throughout, nobody attacked him. When the president came, they nearly marched his coming because they blocked the road. Yes, after the rally. You know, but the president showed a lot of bravado. He stopped, shook hands with them, and they started cheering. Their paid masters who paid them must be feeling ashamed today. Yes. Because we have one president in this country. We don't have any shadow president.
Well, in a related development, the Center for Democratic Development, the CDD, has condemned the violence that broke out in Talensi during the just ended by-election. Some political analysts have pointed to the clamor for power as the cause of the disturbances. Well, there have been suggestions that the violence that was seen at Talensi could manifest on a larger scale at the general elections next year. But National Coordinator for the CDD, Albert Kofi Ahin, has observed it could be avoided if thorough education is given the citizenry prior to the elections.
This country will have to be very careful and take a critical look at it. And the police will have to be proactive and then prosecute people who commit these atrocities, so that, you know, we prevent any such thing happening in 2016. This can be solved through education. We can educate our people to be very quiet, to be very, very, very understanding at polling stations. We have to be doing that. The presiding officer is the man who takes charge of the polling center, and he orders the policeman to make arrests. So maybe we have to give more powers to the presiding officer, because the policeman on his own cannot arrest anybody at the polling station unless he's prompted by the presiding officer to take somebody away. What we are saying is that there should be proper education. Everybody should be schooled that you have to be very careful, you have to behave yourself at the polling station. Yes.